Okay. So for those who are watching this as a recording, so this is AP Lawcet 5-year question paper. AP Lawcet 5-year question paper. And I hope those who are watching it as a recording is done well in the exam. Okay. First question is the tenure as a member of Rajya Sabha. So the tenure of a member of Rajya Sabha is 6 years. And this is a very easy question as we have discussed in the previous classes. So I would rate the question as easy. Next. Precedent in law refers to. So precedent means a previous, judgment or previous decision that was made. So case law on a similar fact which is decided by the court previously, which we have already discussed. So it is again an easy question. So the power to control expenditures of the government vests with Parliament. As I told you when we were talking about union legislature, even to draw a single penny from the consolidated fund of India, we require the permission or the assent of Parliament. So the power to control expenditures of the government vests with the Parliament. And some of you who did not pay attention in the class properly, you might have answered it as finance minister or president. For those who have paid very close attention in the class, Parliament is a very easy question. And even if you did not study it explicitly, you can make a very educated guess. So what is a testament? So testament refers to will. So if you've attended the class on family law, you might have I think the term testamentary succession is discussed in family law. So what is this? In family law, we talked about testamentary succession. What is testamentary succession? So it means, yeah. So you have already made a will. So your property should go to whom? So a will nama already tayar chestunnaru, that is testament. So testament refers to a will. Again, a very easy question, I can say. And even see the remaining questions of the options are very sweepy. So you can easily answer it. So I would rate the question as easy again. Next, the word added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. So what is the answer, guys? The answer is integrity in this particular thing. So it is again a very easy and a straightforward question. So I would again rate this particular question as easy for those who attended all the classes. So which words were added by 42nd Amendment? So the word socialist, secular, and integrity. So these three words were added by 42nd Amendment. Again, an easy question. Who is legally competent to declare a war? So it is the President of India. So even though we did not discuss about wars, we discussed about emergency provision. So whenever, the president feels that there is a kind of emergency which is likely to arise when there is a war with other country, so president will declare. So legally, president is entitled to declare a war, even though it is not a direct question, but by making an educated guess, you can easily deduce this answer. So I would again rate this question as somewhere between easy to moderate. Question number 67, which of the following is not correct regarding acquisition of citizenship in India? Very, very easy question. I think even before the AP Lawcet examination, or today did we discuss, or before AP Lawcet? So I've already discussed citizenship at a greater detail. So what are the various ways through which citizenship can be acquired? It is through birth, descent, registration, and by naturalization. Okay, but by property rights is not the correct thing, right? In the previous exam paper, so there was one thing, that is depositing money in bank account. Okay, same, the other options were completely relevant, and option matram, it is a sweepy one and irrelevant option. So this is a right answer. Again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Next. The governor of the state of Andhra Pradesh appointed in the year 2019. So it is Dr. Bishwabhushan Harichandran. Other remaining options are very sweepy, because this is again a current affair question, so to speak. ESL Narasimhan was not the governor. So Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan is a governor of Telangana, and Bandaru Dattatreya is a governor of Himachal Pradesh. Right.
Haryana, sir.
Sorry? Haryana. Haryana, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Subject to correction.
Earlier Haryana, now Himachal.
Now Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Sorry, I don't remember it correctly. I think the current affairs educator might have discussed about this particular thing. But anyway, so by making an educated guess, you can again deduce to this particular answer. So I would again rate this particular question as somewhere between easy to not even moderate. So do you think it is an easy or moderate question? What do you say, guys? Easy, right? Next, PIL stands for, just a very sweeping question. PIL stands for public interest litigation. I have discussed it in the classes. If you have remembered properly, again, I would rate this particular question as very easy. Next, the International Court of Justice is located in, I think in the current affairs, a GK question, and we have discussed it even in our mock also. It is located in The Hague, which is in Netherlands. So how would you rate, how would you rate the question? It is again an easy question for those who paid close attention in the class. Let me remove WhatsApp from here. The ding ding sound is coming. Okay, let me just throw it out. Yeah. Next, which screen are you guys seeing? Who is the father of modern westernization, Western education in India? It is Lord William Bentinck. So Lord William Bentinck is the right answer. Again, I did not discuss this particular thing. So I would rate this particular. So was this discussed in GK or other classes? I'm not sure because it is discussed already. GK or discuss, then it is an easy question because do you think it is a legal aptitude question? So just use your brain. Do you think it is a legal aptitude question, something which is requiring your legal aptitude? So the answer is no. Okay. So it is again an easy question, as you guys are saying that it was discussed in the GK class. The first state in India created on a linguistic basis and a language adharanga create just a first. It is Andhra Pradesh. So after the hunger strike of Mr. Potti Sriramulu. So I've discussed it when we are talking about union and territory. So Potti Sriramulu made a hunger strike, after which the state of Andhra Pradesh was created. If you remember before, there were certain committees like, after independence, what were the committees? There was SK Dhar Commission and there was also JVP committee. So these people, they rejected, right? They rejected the proposition of Okka language and Okka language Okka state undalane proposition. They have rejected. Even the SRC, that is State Reorganization Commission, which submitted its report in 1956, they told that we have to consider certain parameters. But due to the hunger strike of Potti Sriramulu, Andhra Pradesh was created. Again, I would rate this particular question as easy because anyone and everyone who paid very close attention in the class will not answer this question wrong. Next, the first high court established in India is again a straightforward question, that is Calcutta High Court. So Calcutta High Court is the oldest high court in India. We already discussed it in mock analysis, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so this is again an easy question. I would rate this question as easy. Malimath Committee report is concerned with criminal justice administration. With respect to this committee, I did not discuss about Malimath Committee, but did they discuss it in the GK class?
Previous question paper
PYQ, in the PYQ analysis. I think Janvi is taking the PYQ analysis, right? So in the PYQ, it is already there. So again, as this is a repeated question, I would rate this question as easy again. Next. 75, the article described by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as heart and soul. I have discussed it in the class, that is Article 32, right to constitutional remedies. So as we have discussed in the previous class, I would rate this particular question as easy and straightforward. In the banking sector, FDI stands for anybody and everybody who is following the current affairs properly. Very simple and straightforward easy question, that is foreign direct investment or FDI, Videshi Pratyaksha Pettubadi. Next, mercy killing is also known as, we discussed it in multiple occasions in important case laws, even after important case laws in mock analysis also. When we were talking about passive euthanasia, when we were talking about PIL, we discussed about Aruna Ramachandra Shanbag versus Union of India. We also talked about common cause versus Union of India, where passive euthanasia was allowed. So euthanasia is mercy killing. So we already gave you example what is the difference between euthanasia and passive euthanasia in the previous class. Okay, again, I would rate this particular question as easy and straightforward. 78, fundamental duties were included to the constitution on the basis of, very, very easy question. So the answer is Swaran Singh Committee. So how we have discussed it multiple times when I was discussing fundamental duties and also in our mock analysis. I think this question also appeared in the previous question paper. Again, I would rate this question as easy. Next, under the Indian Contract Act 1872, a contract to which a minor is a party. Okay, a minor contract lo enter what will happen? It is void ab initio, and void from the beginning. Mundu nunde void. So the answer is void. Again, I would rate this particular question as easy. So if a minor is entering, it is a void contract, which means it cannot be enforced in a court of law. Next, Mr. Pranav was driving his car after consuming alcohol. And alcohol tagin tarvata Pranav was driving his car. Police charge him. Is the act of police lawful? Lawful kada? What mandu tagin road meeda veltunnadu. It is lawful because the police has a power to do so. So it is like, even if you did not attend any class, even if you ask a bacha guy who is in 5th class or 6th class, he will say this particular thing. Okay, so it is a very easy question. Next, question number 81. Ex parte decision means a decision given in the absence of other party. So when I made a passing reference to this particular thing, like for example, in a civil case, there is a plaintiff and there is a defendant, or even in other cases also. When the other party case is filed against other party, so other party will be called once, twice, and thrice. After 3 times, if he is not coming to the court, what will the court do? Not specifically 3 times, sometimes it may be 2 or 3. Atan lekundane court case jaruguta. So without hearing the opponent, the case will happen. So that is again ex parte. So again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Next, right to vote is a very tricky question that we were going through, since morning. So right to vote is, according to the options which are given over here, it is a constitutional right, because I told you in the constitution there is a right to universal adult suffrage. Okay, so it is a constitutional right, and it is also a legal right because the Representation of People's Act guarantees right to vote for anyone and everyone who is above the age of 18. So in the given options, constitutional right is the most appropriate answer. So this is the right answer again. So as we have already discussed, this is the correct answer. And even if there is a confusion, nobody will mark it as moral right or fundamental right or as an equal right. Correct? So we will proceed with this particular thing as constitutional right, but it can be both constitutional and legal, as I have noted it in my notebook today, as you guys were asking. So it can be both. If both
So
are
what if they have given two options like constitutional and legal right? So
did
what
they
we
give
have
it?
to choose?
Generally, they won't give, but you can answer either of them and we will challenge it. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, unitary system of government means, what is unitary system? Unitary system and it is all the powers are vested with the center. What is federal system? In a federal system, so the powers are divided between the center and other provinces or territories. But in a unitary government, all the powers are in the hands of center. Okay, so is there any question from here? Yeah, next. Oh my gosh, it's not going down. Okay, look at this one. Parliament of India consists of, very easy question. I have explained it twice or thrice in the same class. In the Parliament chapter, I told you many times, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and President. So how would you rate this particular question? It is again an easy question.
Very easy.
Yeah, very easy. Next, Right to Education Act ensures free and compulsory education up to the level of, again, it is a very easy question. It is only primary education. How many times I gave you example in the mock analysis also, that only for 6 to 14 until 9th class or 10th class you can ask for education. After that, the secondary education, that is your +2, or after that, if you want to pursue your graduation or any other professional course, it is not covered. It is not an absolute right, only for primary education. Again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Next, 86. The lawyer who filed a number of PIL cases on environmental issues. I made a passing reference to it when we were talking about PIL. MC Mehta versus Union of India. In important cases, that is, the Union Carbide Factory, Bhopal gas tragedy, and MC Mehta also filed a case, I think, with respect to Shriram Foods and Fertilizer. So there was a gas leak in Shriram Food and Fertilizer. Even Taj Mahal case, Taj Mahal pollution, Ganga water pollution, all of these cases are filed by MC Mehta. I would again rate this particular question as easy or as somewhere between easy to moderate, if not. But again, as I made a passing reference in the class, it would be easy. Of course, see, look at the other names. So you can even if you don't know the answer, Ram Jethmalani is not known for environment. He is famous in civil, criminal, and constitutional matters. Sorry?
Criminal, I said.
Yeah, so he is expert in all the case, civil, criminal, and constitutional matters. KK Venugopal, present Ronnie Jan, not very famous. Baba Amte, so you might not know this particular person.
Baba
But already I made
for animals.
Sorry?
Actually.
Animals.
Yes, yeah, animal, wildlife.
Okay. Yeah, might be. So if you know that particular thing, so MC Mehta, you can deduce it very easily. So I would rate it as somewhere between easy and moderate.
There is a biopic about him.
Okay. So writ petitions can be filed in India only in a very easy question. I told you who can issue writs in India? High courts and Supreme Courts. So constitutional courts. So what are constitutional courts in India? It is High Courts and Supreme Court. So both High Court and Supreme Court. For those who have attended the classes, I would again rate this particular question as easy. Next. Question number 88. Money bill should be introduced first in the very, very easy question. Lok Sabha with the prior recommendation of President. Multiple times you have discussed this particular thing with the prior recommendation of President, and Lok Sabha Speaker will certify whether it is a money bill or not, the introduction. But it will be introduced with the recommendation of President, and it has to be introduced only in Lok Sabha. If it is in the state legislature, it has to be introduced in the state legislative assembly. Right? Again, I would rate this particular question as easy because we made a reference to this one multiple times in multiple classes. Next, after the abrogation of Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, Jammu and Kashmir is, of course, a union territory. So after, by enacting the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act in 2019, the state of Jammu and Kashmir was divided into two union territories, that is Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. In the union territories chapter, this was discussed very categorically. So I would again rate this particular question as very easy. Next. Question number 90. Life imprisonment under the Indian Penal Code. So Indian Penal Code, IPC life imprisonment under it is in the option it is given as till death. So yeah, even if you don't know what is life, like even if you did not attend criminal law class, look at the term life imprisonment. And jivita kadanu jivitantam, you will stay in the jail. What is breaking over here? Yeah. So that is till death will be your answer. So I would again rate this particular question as easy because it's self-explanatory. Next, 91, law made by sovereign authority is called. So like kind of tricky question, but again, if you analyze the options carefully and if you make an educated guess, then I think this is again an easy option, but I would rate this question as moderate because as I know the answer before, but some of you might not understand this particular thing because I discussed something which is known as natural law. So natural law is something which comes naturally when you are born as a human being. So you will be getting certain human rights, which are natural rights or they are human rights. Whereas there is nothing called as artificial law and there is nothing called as man-made law. So both of these are very sweeping terms. Okay. So the choosing is only between these two, option 2 and option 4. Look at this one. What is a positive law? So here, law made by a sovereign authority. It means law made by a competent authority. It can be parliament or state legislature, or it can be any other legislature in the entire world. As this is made by a legislature, we call it as a law. Law is generally a positive law. There is no normative law. So normative law and everything, you will find it only in the subjects like economics and other things. But generally, all laws are positive, so it is positive law. Whereas natural law is something which is not made by an authority. So natural vachesal. So if you are born as a human, you have the right to breathe certain things. You have the right to get food and everything. But any law that is made by a competent authority, it is always positive. So by making an educated guess, you can answer it. So I would rate this question as moderate to difficult if you want. Next, which fundamental right was inserted through 86th Constitutional Amendment of 2002? It is the right to education, which was added by 86th Amendment in the year 2021, capital A. So this is a very easy and straightforward question. So I would rate this question as easy again. Question number 93. A citizen of India commits a murder in Ethiopia. Whether A can be tried in India? Yes, because A is a citizen of India. So you can definitely try. You can ask the other country under the extradition law to ask him to come. So this is again an easy question, but some of you might get confused because of the language of the question. So I would rate it again as easy to moderate. But again, it is very easy from my end. Okay. But I have to think from your shoes. So it is. So, guys, even I am equally excited as you for the exam, because even I am writing the exam with you on 22nd. Okay. So don't worry. I'll be there at the center. Alibi means a plea by an accused that. What is alibi? Alibi is the accused is present somewhere else. So we discussed it in criminal law. Alibi is a defense. We use this defense when to show that we are not. So I gave an example. Like, let us say A has committed an offense in Dehradun. Okay. And we are in the court. And when A comes to the court, A says that A proves that he is not in Dehradun, he is in Delhi. Okay. It means that he is present elsewhere. So that is alibi. Alibi is a very important defense in criminal law. So elsewhere, this is again an easy question. I would rate it as easy. Next. The chief election commissioner is what? They don't have the patience to write Bharata Pradhana Enikal Commissioner. Okay. Chief election commissioner is Mr. Rajiv Kumar. Again, straightforward question. I would rate it as easy for those who have followed the current affairs properly. Next, in India, cyber crimes are regulated by, I think it is a repeated previous question, right? So in India, cyber crimes are regulated by the Information Technology Act. So it is a very easy question, and there is no Cyber Crimes Act. Copyright Act has nothing to do with this thing because we already discussed. International criminal law will of course not deal with this particular thing. So again, this is an easy question for those who have attended all the classes and analyzed all the previous year question papers. Next. Who amongst the following represented India before the International Court of Justice in Kulbhushan Jadhav's case? Again, a very easy question, which is repeated in the previous question paper. It is Mr. Harish Salve. So he's an advocate, who is here in India only, and he represented Kulbhushan Jadhav's case, in the International Court of Justice. And this particular thing was there in the news previously, and it appeared in the previous question paper as well. And again, it is repeated in this one. I am not sure if it has appeared in TS, in AP, but it has appeared in TS, I guess. So did you come across this particular question with the same options, I guess? Yes or no? Okay. So if you have gone through it, it would be easy. Next. 98, the total number of official languages recognized so far under the Indian Constitution. So we made a reference to this when we are talking about schedules, and even in the previous questions and mock tests. So the answer is 22. 22 official languages are recognized in 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Next, question number 99. The writ can be issued to make one perform the official duty. So I discussed what is a writ that says do your duty, or we command. What is the answer, guys? It is mandamus. For those who have paid very close attention in the class when we are discussing fundamental rights and Article 32, this is a cakewalk for you. So I would rate this particular question as easy again. Next, right to privacy is an integral part of, again, a very easy question. It is right to life. So right to life is a right to privacy is a part of right to life, which was very previously upheld in which case? In a very recent case. Now, recent is like 2-3 years.
Indra.
Sorry?
Aadhaar case, sir.
In Puttaswamy is the most recent case. Even in the previous cases also. For example, right to travel abroad was held as a part of right to life in Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India. And even in various cases, Supreme Court held that, like right to pollution-free environment, okay, right to clean drinking water. So all of these are an integral part of right to life. So again, I would rate this particular question as easy, not so difficult. Next. Rights against all these are there. Okay. A says to B, I am going to kill C. A B దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి చెప్తాడు నేను C ని చంపేస్తున్నా. B says do as you wish and take the consequences, wherein after A kills C. సో అంటే B దగ్గరకు వచ్చింది నేను చంపేస్తారా అంటే వాడు సరే నువ్వు ఏమన్నా చేసుకోపో అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఫేస్ ద కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్. సో A went and A killed C. Now is B jointly liable with A for killing C? సో A తో పాటు B కూడా liable ఆ C ని చంపడానికి? No, because A has not abetted. అంటే B అనేవాడు C ని చంపడానికి A ని ప్రోత్సహించాలి. So he did not encourage A to kill C. He said do it and you face the consequence. He did not say
he supported, right?
He did not support. Show me where it is.
But he knew that he will kill C.
How would he know? See, now I will come to you and I will say that I am going to kill the Prime Minister of India. Then you will say that, okay, do as you wish. So does this mean that I'm supporting, you are supporting me? So supporting means there should be support either in mens rea or in actus reus. Okay, which means either in the intention, both of them should have the intention to kill, or both of them should kill. I mean, both of them should be involved in killing. Is there anything over here? Is there any mens rea or actus reus? See, understand this particular thing. When we are discussing in criminal law, I told that there are two important essentials of a crime. One is mens rea and second one is actus reus. Mens rea ante guilty mind. Second one is actus reus, that is wrong action. ఇక్కడ B అనేవాడికి C ని చంపాలనే ఉద్దేశం కానీ లేదా చంపడంలో తను ఏమైనా హెల్ప్ చేశాడా? చేయలేదు. So it is not the thing. So that is why you have to pay very close attention to the question. The wording matters a lot. So as you know, the wording played a key role. Again, this is a very easy question. So some of you might get confused, but I would rate as easy to moderate. Easy, right? It is moderate. Again, we're running out of time. Not a problem. I think we'll be able to do the remaining questions. Mr. X was walking on the street. Okay, X on street. When he was crossing Mr. Y's house, a bag of rice fell on him and got injured. So he did not know what caused the bag of rice to fall on him. In an action for damage by X, can X succeed? So can X say that, can X succeed, a suit against Y? Is it possible? Yes, because when you are in a house, it is your complete duty to make sure that any particle from your house is not falling on the street. Yes or no? So when you are having a house, it is a duty of the plaintiff to make sure that this particular thing is happening. He owes a duty of care. So that is why it is a X can succeed. Okay, presuming that it is at Y's fault because it is falling from Y's house. Okay, again I would rate the question as easy to moderate, not a difficult question. But again, in principle fact, like the language is very important. What is universal adult suffrage? What is universal adult suffrage? It means that freedom to vote upon the attainment of 18 years, not 18 years, on getting the adult age. So in India, it is 18 years. So 18 years this is the right answer, and I would rate this particular question as easy.
Sir, is universal adult franchise also true?
Universal adult franchise also
true for that?
Yes. Universal adult franchise. Yes, it is also true. See, franchise means you're exercising your franchise. So you're giving your right to vote. So it is also true. Both. Next, death penalty can be imposed in which of the following cases in India? Very easy. We have discussed it as rarest of the rare cases. So it is again a very easy question, as we have discussed it multiple times in multiple classes. Next, 105. Which of the following is recognized as a fundamental right by Article 21 capital A? Very easy, straightforward. This is a second or third question on Article 21 in the same paper. Second or third question, right? It is right to education. Again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Okay. Next, uniform civil code refers to. Uniform civil code refers to uniform civil law, because civil code is with respect to civil matters like marriage, succession, adoption, inheritance, acquisition of property, and everything. Okay, so all of these are civil matters. So uniform civil code refers to a uniform civil law. Just by making an educated guess, you don't even require any knowledge to answer this. If you know what is uniform civil code, it is a very easy question to answer. So again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Some of you might, yeah. Which of the following states have a common high court? Common high court. So common high court is Punjab and Haryana. A very easy question, I can say. So today somebody asked me, there are 28 states in India, but there are only 25 high courts. Yes, this is allowed because by 7th Amendment, we made a provision that there can be a common high court for 2 or more states. And India, there shall be a high court for each state and not in each state. And prati state lo high court undaలని ledu, prati state ki high court undali. And Telangana high court, it can be in Andhra Pradesh also, not necessarily in Telangana. Is this clear?
But bench should be formed, sir. At least one bench.
Not necessarily. Even bench can operate. Bench will of course operate in the state, but seat is generally there in the other state. In a lot of states, if you look, in most of the union territories, they don't have a high court, right? So bench is generally there in the state. Like for example, when Telangana and Andhra Pradesh was having a combined high court, that is Hyderabad High Court. So Hyderabad High Court is sitting in Hyderabad, and there is bench in Andhra Pradesh also. So bench can be there or bench cannot be there also. So it depends. Okay. So the thing is that for is the wording. So there shall be a high court for each state and not in each state. Okay. Next question. The time between, I think when Hyderabad High Court was there was no bench in Andhra Pradesh, subject to correction, but there is no requirement of a bench. So it can be there. The time between 2 sessions of parliament shall not be more than 6 months. It is a straightforward question. So again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Next. Question number 109. The minimum age limit to be the governor of the state. It is 35 years of age, which is a straightforward question. And again, I would rate this particular question as easy. Next. We discussed it in the classes. Collegium is a group of what? Again, a straightforward question. It is a judges. So again, I would rate this particular question as easy. We discussed it in the Supreme Court chapter and even in our mock analysis. Ombudsman refers to. So when we were talking about Lokpal and Lokayukta, I made a reference to ombudsman, which is there in Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. So ombudsman is an official who looks into complaints against the public authority. So you look into all the public grievances which are created by the public authority. So ombudsman is again an easy question, I would say. It is not a moderate or difficult question because I have already discussed it when we were talking about non-constitutional bodies. The procedure followed to elect the president of India is very easy, straightforward. And I already told you, if president of India is in the news, please go through the president chapter again. It is proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. So you have to mark your vote proportionately to all the contestants in the election. Next, 113. Who brings law reforms in India? Who brings law reforms in India? So law reforms are generally, law commission recommends law reforms. Okay. So some or the other way it is correct because I've seen even in framing the question paper also, the authorities have been little negligent because I think it requires some more proofreading because like if we are making some mistake, it is okay. But even they are also humans. We understand this particular thing. But again, I think there is some requirement because they don't have budget constraint. They can appoint 2 or 3 proofreaders also. So, which of the following is not a public law? Which of the following is not a public law? Contract law is not a public law. Contract law is a private law because it is a civil law, hence it is a private law. Whereas criminal law, constitutional law, and taxation law, all of these are public laws. So this is again a straightforward and easy question. So I would rate the question as easy again. The quorum required for each house of parliament. What is quorum? I discussed it in the class. The quorum is the minimum strength that is required. What is the minimum strength that is required? It is 1/10 of the total membership. So it is again an easy question. So we are running out of time. Let us do the questions very quickly. Nota, that is none of the above, was used for the first time in India. So it is like kind of a GK question, to so to say. In 2013 assembly elections, where assembly elections were held to some states like Chhattisgarh, Mizoram, Rajasthan, and for Delhi. So in these states, the nota was used for the first time in India. Okay, kind of current, sorry, moderate question.
Kerala.
Kerala. Okay. Kerala also, yeah, might be, but in these assembly elections, it was used in 2013. Next, which of the following commission is associated with the protection of refugees? So it is UNHCR, United Nations High Commission for Refugees. So I think it was discussed in current affairs or GK classes. Even if it is not discussed also, it is somewhere between easy to moderate. Okay. Next, not a difficult question, because NHRC and SHRC, they are not dealing with those things, right? So what are the other two options? So it is an easy question if you are making educated guess. Next, the Supreme Court of India is created by, it is created by the Constitution of India under which article? Article 124. So it is again an easy question. I would rate the question as easy. Act of unlawfully entering into others' property. Wherever property local can try that. I think when I was discussing about tort law, majority of the examples related to trespass. So again, I would rate the question as easy. Next, 120, which of the following statements is not correct? Prime Minister is a leader of majority party in Lok Sabha. It is very much correct. Head of cabinet, very much correct. Head of government, very much correct. Who is the head of state? Head of state is, head of the country is president. It is not prime minister. So this is a wrong option. So it is asking what is not the correct answer. So it is again an easy question, provided you have read the options carefully. So from my understanding, this is a very easy paper touching on the basic parts of it and like not very complicated questions also. So 55 plus would be a decent score for those who have attended all the classes in this particular examination. Okay, so we'll discuss the next paper also. Other teachers will take other mock analysis as well. So stay tuned for that particular thing. So until then, I'll see you all in tomorrow's class. Bye bye. Good night. Running out of time as well.